everybody. I'm Sophie Bean. I'm a junior here at State. I'm majoring in political science with a minor in business, and this is my second semester as a career ambassador. So we're going to get started. Cassie's going to go over our learning outcomes for today.
Alright, so today what we're really going over is what exactly LinkedIn is and why it's important to you as a student. We're also going to go over all the fundamentals of a great LinkedIn profile and kind of walk you through those steps. We're going to show you how you can make connections with people in your professional field and how LinkedIn can help you further your career.
So before we go to the next slide, does anybody not know what LinkedIn is before we get started? It's okay if you don't. Okay, good. So that's going to lead us to my next slide. What is LinkedIn? Well, I'm glad that you asked. LinkedIn is a professional networking site. It is a form of social media. However, like I said, it's professional, so it's for networking. Can anybody tell me what networking is or what you think it might be? I'll give you a piece of candy if you answer. Are you guys? Yes.
Making connections with
Yes. What's your name? Jameson said making connections with individuals in which you can both benefit each other. Yeah, it's mutual, it's reciprocal relationship. Very good. You guys. Okay. Okay, so yes. So that's why in this image we have a picture of a tablet. So just imagine this is you and your LinkedIn profile, and this is how you network with people. And we're going to get more into that.
So we have a short video about LinkedIn for students.
Good job. You want to go from student to rising star, and you want to avoid eating the same meal over and over and over again. Good news, you're in the right place. That's right, LinkedIn. It's not just for top executives. It's not just for old people with heavy briefcases. It's for you, and it's the perfect place for you to start your professional story. Say you want to get a job in New York City. You've never been there before, but that's okay because you have LinkedIn on your side. You start by creating your profile. You give it love because you know it's what recruiters are looking for day and night. It's your resume that never sleeps. It's your flashing neon sign that says, hire me, for the love of all that is good in this world, hire me. Then you start making connections. Alumni working in New York? Yes. Recruiters at top companies in New York? Yes. Your mom's best friend? Yes. You start imagining whose shoes you want to walk in. You think, wow, this is a lot of deep stuff to consider. You shake yourself out of it and start searching for jobs. Whoa, that's a lot of jobs for students. Time to get down to business. You start to tailor your profile. You start applying. You feel empowered, in control, like you should be CEO. That gives you an idea. You look up all the CEOs of all the companies you want to work at. You see one of them went to your university. Then it hits you. You see a clear path from campus to career. You feel like you can see the future. You wonder if you're psychic. Should you start a hotline? No, back to plan A. You keep tailoring and connecting and applying, and before you know it, you start getting responses. First a few, then more, then an interview, and then you're hired. And that's when the real learning begins.
Alright, so I hope that explained LinkedIn a little bit better. And you may be asking yourself, like, why as a student do you need it, especially if you're a first year? But I got mine as a first year student, and I think it definitely helped me in my journey, not only to build the connections, but to get jobs. I think it was freshman year, I got my first phone interview on LinkedIn, and sort of like the video said, I've always wanted to work in New York City. I don't know anybody in New York City, and LinkedIn was sort of my tool. I would search people on there who were NC State alums who lived in New York. I would reach out to them. I would find people who were my sorority who were alum and reach out to those people as well. And then last year, I actually ended up getting a job through LinkedIn. That was in Charlotte, and it was really a simple process. I just applied on their website, and it was great. They called me the next day, so I do highly recommend LinkedIn. And it's also just a great way to keep in contact with people you meet and professionals in the industry.
And I will say, like, what some of you may be thinking, I know this is what I thought before as career ambassador. Well, I'm a student now, you may only be like a freshman or sophomore, but we're really glad you came today because it's super important, as Cecily said, to start building your network now. Because even though you may not be currently searching for a job in an intended field, you are going to be one day, and this is a great launching pad for that. And if you keep it up to date, it's fairly easy. Like recruiters may just reach out to you. There's actually a toggle bar that we're going to show you in a moment that like you can say if you're open to speaking with recruiters, and they can just approach you. So that's a good stuff. Okay,
so we're going to go over what you actually put on your profile. Alright. Okay, so first things first, your headshot. This is the first thing that people are going to notice about you. So it's important to present it in a professional and mature manner. You're going to want, you're not going to want to wear any sunglasses or any hats or anything that could obstruct your face. You're going to want it to be full frontal. You're not going to want anything to do from the side or have anything obstructing your view. You also don't really want any candids. You want to be looking at the photographer, smiling. Cecily used a selfie stick to take hers, but yeah, it took like 200 tries, but I ended up getting one. So if you don't have a professional photographer at your ready, don't be afraid. You should definitely still upload a picture. Yeah, one of my friends took mine outside of my apartment, and I just dressed up 10 minutes one night. She took it. She took a couple of different places. I picked one. I put it up there. It worked really well. You don't want to use like a regular selfie. You want it to be very professional because this is social media, but it's not like Instagram. It's your professional footstep, basically.
Whatever you do, don't put like a bathroom selfie, like in a mirror or anything like that.
No. And we are also having a photographer here after the launch session if you are dressed up and would like your picture taken virtually.
Okay, so as we move down, we're going to talk about your headline. So this is your headshot, and then underneath Cecily's name, she has her headline, Career Ambassador at NC State. I'm also going to move over to my headline because mine's a little bit different. For your headline, this is a great way, LinkedIn in general is a great way to humanize yourself to a potential employer. So some of the advantages you get of having LinkedIn as opposed to just a resume, you get to put media on LinkedIn. So if you are in, let's say, marketing, like Cecily is, you can put things that you've written, that you've presented. You can also put pictures on your LinkedIn. And so you can see Cecily's cover photo is a picture of New York. And so as she mentioned before, she really, that's one of her aspirations is to get a marketing job in New York City. And so right off the bat, when a recruiter or a potential employer recruiter looks at her profile, they see New York and like, oh, that has something that will set her apart. So that's exactly what your headline is for. Hers says Career Ambassador at NC State. That is something special and unique to her. Whatever you do not just put student at NC State University. I know it's very tempting, but that's there's 40,000 students at NC State, combined, undergrad and graduate. That's not really setting you apart as much as it could. So my major is political science, like I said, and so on my profile, I have aspiring legal mind, advocate of justice, passion for service. So that's a little bit more creative. I'm in Chas, so I can get away with that. If you're in an artsier major, that's fine. But that just gives a little bit more about you personally and sets you apart from the rest. Then we're going to go back to Cecily's, and we're going to go over the summaries. So Cecily's is very brief. I've seen some that it could be 2 to 3 sentences, all the way to a few paragraphs. This is basically a very brief summary statement, similar to what you have at the top of your resume. Reasons that a potential employer should hire you. So you have strong communication skills. You're very detail oriented. You have good time management skills. These are the things that you want to emphasize in this section. So Cecily kind of talks about her time at NC State. She gained a great passion for knowledge, and then she ties in something she's a part of. So she's a part of Career Ambassadors, just like she's tying it back to her headline. She says, in Career Ambassadors, I discovered my love for helping others, and she talks about an internship she had. So, and then she even goes as far as to say her Myers-Briggs type. I don't know if every one of you knows what that is. It's a test that you can take. There's 16 different kinds, and it tells you more about your personality, how you interact with others, how they can interact with you. And so she has that, and she also lists her 5 strengths. And so this is just further giving more information about herself to potential employers.
And then sometimes people also upload a PDF of their resume in this section. And I do want to add that if you are doing that on LinkedIn, to take off your phone number and your home address, because you don't want people to know where you live. So the next part that we're going to go over is your education section. So obviously we are all here. We're all go to NC State. You're going to want to put what you're majoring in. If you have any minors, you're going to want to add that. You also, if you're in a fraternity, paragraph at the bottom just to sort of explain what the presentation is, just so if someone clicks on it, they're not wondering like why I have this random PowerPoint on my LinkedIn.
And don't worry, we're gonna show you how to post on LinkedIn, and also how to add media further along in the presentation.
And you also have an experience section on LinkedIn, just like you would on a resume. However, in LinkedIn, there's no limit to how many experiences you can put up there. So if you have 3 really good experiences from college, or you did 2 co-ops and an internship, you can put those up there. But if you also want to put that in high school you were a manager at McDonald's or a grocery store, you can also add that. Under experience is another chance for you to add media, and which you really do want to put in as much media as you can, because it just lets the employers know that you really do have this experience and you did things in it and you accomplished things. It's just a really good way to let them get to know you.
And then for media also, if you scroll down a little bit, if you're wondering what to add if you don't have presentations or videos, I scroll up a little bit. This is my summer internship, and I just took sort of screenshots of like what I wrote on their website. There's a social media post, if you click next. There's just sort of a picture of me working. So anything that's relevant to the job is a good thing to add on there.
We're not gonna spend much more time on the actual profile, because y'all are what we like to call digital natives, so you've grown up with computers your entire life, so most of like building your profile, if you haven't already, is very simple. It just asks for you to input your information. But there is one more thing I would like to mention that I feel might be helpful. If we go all the way down, so you see you can add volunteer experience, you can add high school things. This is the featured skills and endorsement section, and so what this is similar to a resume. When you are highlighting your strengths, you can have your top 3 strengths shown on your LinkedIn, and then if you click show more, go underneath and you have all these other strengths. So make sure that your top 3 strengths are the ones listed, and the way that they work is, the way the endorsements work is if you say, I think that Cecily is a great public speaker, I could go onto her LinkedIn page and I could hit a plus mark for public speaking, and it would say that I endorsed her for that skill. One of the best ways we say to get an endorsement is to give an endorsement. So if you start connecting with people that are your friends, your faculty members, your coworkers, things like that on LinkedIn, and that's how you expand your network. So if you want someone to endorse you, then you can give them an endorsement. Okay, so now we're going to start our first activity. Can somebody tell me what show this is from? The Office. So, who thinks that this is a pretty good, does a pretty good job of capturing Michael Scott in The Office? Do we think this is a good headline or a poor headline? Anybody have any feedback? Well, that's okay. We're going to get you to give some feedback because we've got candy and we have prizes up here. We're going to be doing our first activity. So, who is this? This is JT. We should all know who JT is. He just performed the Super Bowl last weekend, right? So we're going to give you about a minute, 30 seconds to a minute, and if you would just talk with people at your table and think of a tagline you could give JT that would be good for his LinkedIn profile. And then we're going to go around afterwards. So talk amongst yourself. Not only is he a musical artist, he's also a dancer, he's a singer, he's just really multi-talented.
You sent him a note. Hey.
He was with Britney Spears when he was a kid.
Yeah.
I don't know. Was that not some insane, yeah. I totally forgot that.
It's not going to look professional on our end. Yeah. I can't do that or anything. This isn't meant to be.
I don't know, his headphones can be on the JT well enough. No, he's
I didn't see him. Yeah.
Okay, so does anybody have a tagline for JT that they'd like to share and get some candy? Yes, Sarah.
Multimedia worldwide superstar.
Yes, I love it. Okay, you ready? Okay, good. Anybody else have something a little bit different they think would be good? To capture the essence of JT, I mean, I know that's hard to do, but yes.
Former supporter of macaroni here.
Yes, that's a good one, but what does that say anything about his skills?
It's just something about his style.
Okay, yeah. Maybe you could say that and then add something, like mix that with what Sarah said. That's good. Here you go. Sorry. Okay, we're gonna go to the next one. Who's this? Did anybody know that today's actually his birthday?
Aw.
So good old Honest Abe. So we're gonna give you another minute or so, and if you could just, he signed the Emancipation Proclamation, for those of you who don't know, ending slavery. So he's a pretty cool dude. He wore a top hat, so we'll give you a few minutes to talk amongst yourselves. Figure out a tagline for him.
Most honest man. International man. Yeah, but it's really hard to just capture the essence of Abe all in one night. I don't know. Wait, I totally forgot he was on the page. Yeah, wait, you said that and I was like, oh my god, he is on the page.
Okay. Who would like to share about Honest Abe, their tagline for him? Yeah, what's your name?
Devlin.
Devlin.
Breaker of chains, top hat aficionado.
That is awesome. Breaker of chains, top hat aficionado. That's really good. Can anybody top that? Or does anybody have any others that's a little bit different? There's Candy at State. Okay, we'll move on to the next one. Okay. Who's this? J Law. This is Jennifer Lawrence. Hunger Games, Katniss. She usually has a braid. So we're gonna give you another minute. She's an actress. I think has she sung before?
Yeah, she sang that one song in the house.
She did sing a song, so she's got that going for her. And she's really stylish. So we'll give you a minute.
She's a mother as scary as she's in Silver Linings Playbook. It's a good movie. She's the one who said, "Where's the pizza?" Right? That's her. I like her. Oh yeah. I think she won like. I think she's won Best Actress like 2 times.
I got here like right when we started.
Okay, who has one? Survivalist expert. That's a good one. Anybody else? Have a tagline for Jennifer Lawrence? What would she want to showcase on her professional LinkedIn profile?
All her Oscar wins.
What is it?
All of her Oscars.
Yes, absolutely. Okay. And then our last one. Who's this?
Queen.
The Queen. This is good old Queen Elizabeth. Has anybody seen the show The Crown? Yeah, that's about her. So we'll give you another minute. This is our last one. So let's go out with a bang and have a really good one for her. I don't think she has a LinkedIn. But if she did, what would it say?
Bring a bomb would just be Queen. The Queen. Yeah. She's always got on like some funky hat. Every time I see the Queen. How old is she? Does anyone know? She's like 90s. Yeah, she's got to be like at least
Okay.
like high 80s.
Who's got a good one for our last picture? Anybody? You look like you want to say something. You sure? Okay. Yes. Corgi collector. That's a good one. I did not know that about her. Like,
Oh, really?
oh, like actual corgis or statues?
No, like actual corgis.
Well, she has the space in the yard. Yeah. Anybody else have one? Last one. Come on. Somebody help me out. Got candy. One more before we can move on. Yes.
60-plus years of public management.
Absolutely, very good. Okay, let's give everybody, all of our volunteers, a round of applause. That was great. So now we're going to do a little bit of debrief. Can anybody tell me why we did this activity? Aside from it was really fun. And you get candy. Can anybody tell me what this has to do with you and your professional LinkedIn? It's a good way to brainstorm ideas, right? Think about possible adjectives that you can use to describe yourself. Really, this is to get you thinking outside of the box. Anybody can say, you know, I work at Dairy Queen, or I work at Hunt Library. I'm a student at NC State. You really want to go beyond that. You want to think about skills that you have that somebody might not know just from your resume or just from looking at a picture of you. Once again, like we said, your LinkedIn is going to set you apart, and you can fit a lot more into your LinkedIn than you would be able to in a document. So that's why we did that, and we're going to be moving on now. Thank y'all for your participation.
Okay, so now we're going to be talking about what a connection actually is. So you've probably heard us throw this word around a lot, and a lot of people get confused between a first, second, and third connection. So here's sort of a visual. I'll pretend this one's me, okay? And then we've got Sophie and Cassie are going to be my first connection. So they are my personal connections. They're on my list. And then their connections are going to be my second connections. And then those second connections, their connections are going to be my third connections. So you can see how having just 3 connections can actually end in a huge network of people that are on your LinkedIn and who will see your media when you post.
And piggybacking off what Cecily said, on your LinkedIn, you have like a news feed that's very similar to Facebook. So you can see not only, if I'm connected with Cecily, I can see not only her things, but things that she likes of people that she's connected with. So that just increases your network that much more, and that allows you to connect with, you know, CEOs and, I mean, all kinds of stuff. So this is just a way to kind of hopefully make that a little, help you guys understand that. Like as you're navigating LinkedIn, it'll say, you know, first connection, second connection, third connection. So hopefully we simplify that for you.
And you may be wondering like who to add on LinkedIn, and there's really no wrong answer. You can add family, friends, professors. You can even add people you admire in the industry, or if people send you requests and you're a little skeptical about accepting it, know that they can't really access any more information than is on your profile, so don't be scared to accept unless it just seems like maybe a spam account or something. But I don't think you need to be too worried about that because it just opens up to more connections.
Okay, how to connect with someone. Okay, so this is my LinkedIn. If I wanted to connect with someone, let's see. Okay, so on a personal note, I'm applying for an internship with the Federal Reserve Board, which is the National Bank of the United States. So I was researching people that work for the Federal Reserve Board in attempt to like connect with someone and find a job. So if I were to try and connect with this gentleman, I would click right beside the InMail, and I would hit connect. An InMail is where you can send a personalized connection, and so that's like sending a friend request on Facebook, but it's like it gives you a little note along with it. So we highly recommend for people that you don't know, it's definitely encouraged to connect with them on LinkedIn, but it's a great idea, especially if it's someone that's older than you, not just like a peer. Especially if it's someone in a field you want to go into, definitely send them a little message, and we're going to talk about what to say in a minute. But make sure you tell them who you are, you know, why you're contacting them, and how much you'd appreciate their time if they could, you know, just send you a brief email about their career trajectory, or if they have time to sit down for a cup of coffee, or give you a phone conversation, that kind of thing.
And I also want to point out that this person is a third connection to Sophie,
Yep.
so there is a little bit of connection there. So she's not just reaching out to a completely random stranger, and that's sort of the point of LinkedIn. Okay, so now we're going to be doing our second activity that will get you standing up a little bit more.
If if you could stand up and try and make as much of a circle / oval as possible.
You can stay where you are.
Oh,
Thank you.
is that good?
We'll show you an example of what we're talking about, the activities. So this is all about getting to know people who have things in common with you, which is sort of what LinkedIn is. Like I'm a marketing major, so I try to especially connect with chief marketing officers, people like that. And I also mentioned earlier that I want to move to New York City. So I would say, does anyone in the room have a connection with New York City? Sophie does, so I would go this to her. And then can you say your name out loud, and then your
My name
connection?
is Sophie. How many people in here are in CHAS? Okay, so everybody who's in CHAS, you'll stand up. And then I'll throw it to one of you. Throw it to you. Try and get it unwound. There you go. And so then Sarah will hold on to it, and she'll say something else that applies to her that she thinks may apply to somebody else in the room.
Yeah, if you could just say your name out loud, and then what the connection you're looking for.
I'm Sarah, and I would want to move back to California. Is there anybody on the West Coast?
Or anybody who knows someone in California.
Even better.
Yeah, we've got hands behind you. I think everybody can stand up. We need a stretch.